This episode of the Blerd Mob contains explicit language. While we want everyone to enjoy the show, sometimes we may say things that are not appropriate for all ages. So, in other words, Mom, Dad, Granny, we cussing. Discretion is advised.
King G, Grow Site, ENT. Rock with it, rock with it, rock with it, rock with it. Let me pop my shit. Let me pop my shit. Hands up.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Blerd Mob, your hub for all things black and nerdy. I am your host, Phoop, joined by my co-host, Ryun. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other streaming service, make sure you hit that follow button so you can get updates from the mob.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on those bell notifications for future uploads.
Today, we are back as a duo instead of a trio. Ralph is out for the day, so me and Ryan are about to thug it out, part 2. So, how's it been, Ryan? What is going on?
You know what? Life's been good. Eating good. Living good. You know what I'm saying? Been watching a few series. Been catching up on some stuff. I know you said you've been hearing about that SpyXFamily anime.
Yeah, I've been watching that.
It's going...
I didn't watch the new... I haven't watched the new episode. So, I like it. I guess I like the feel of it because it's just so different from the other animes that I've watched. Like, it's very entertaining. I guess I like how lighthearted it is. Like,
yeah,
you would think that, like, a secret relationship between a spy, an assassin, and a child being a telepath would be, like, on some Hunter x Hunter type shit. But this has been, like, very lighthearted, very fun to watch. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with it.
I'm glad. It's funny because, you know, you're not necessarily, like, new to anime anymore. Like, you're discovering your own anime. You're recommending. Yeah, you're pretty...
I'm seasoned now.
You're and it's funny because it's actually a pretty good series. Like, folks only lean towards shonens majority of the time, like Naruto, Bleach, and all them. And I'm kind of glad, like, this is actually a solid show. I've been watching Shield Hero Season 2, kind of started off slow. I know Ace put me on to that, but it's going good so far. Bought me a new bottle of cologne. You know, I'm still collecting. My manga collection is stabilized. Now I'm just waiting for stuff to release at one of the time.
Did your Heal Ball come in yet?
It should come today.
Yeah,
actually. They just sent me the shipping.
Mine is supposed to be coming today, so I'll be adding another Pokeball to the collection.
Yeah.
I finished.
If you are a Blerd Mob fan, you will have Pokeballs.
But shows I've been watching, I finished Moon Knight. I think if I was to rank it out of, like, the 6 Disney Plus shows that have came out, it might be, like, number 5 on my list. I don't really have too much to say on it. I mean, it wasn't, I didn't hate it. Like, I disliked very much Hawkeye. Like, I could go on a rant. But Moon Knight was cool. I don't think, it just didn't grab me as, like, I wanted.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good.
So I finished that. I was watching Sailor Moon, and I cannot get past season 4. Like, it is killing. I cannot, like, I don't know what the fuck. I don't like this villain or whatever they got going on. It's just, I'm trying to push myself to finish it, but I can't.
How long is Sailor Moon?
Sailor Moon is...
Even as a kid, I was always familiar with it. Never watched
Sailor Moon is, according to Hulu, it is 5 seasons. And I am on season 4. And I am having the hardest time trying to push myself through season 4. And...
yeah, you got going to finish that. You already...
I'm trying to. I haven't watched Sailor Moon in, like, 2 weeks because of season 4. It's just something about it that's not hitting for me. And so we talked about SpyXFamily, stuff I've been listening to. I've listened to half of Future's new album. I didn't finish it. And it felt like Future. It felt like a Future album. I guess my thing is, and this might be some controversy right here, I can't. Some of the Future hype, I don't know. I feel like it's forced. I feel like the Future hype is forced. And I see the way you're looking at me. But I feel like some of the Future hype, for the half of the album I listen to, the song that I like at the moment is the song that he has with Kanye, Keep It Burning. But
Really?
But the rest of them, I don't know. The rest of them sound like the same song.
So let me ask this. This. Why do you listen to Future? Because here
you go. I fucked with Future way back in the gap when he was like, I'm on my Pluto shit, when he was releasing Same Damn Time, My Hoe 2. Like I was with Future.
Fair.
And then he started changing. I feel like he started changing like his rapping style. So then you end up getting stuff like Dirty Sprite 2, or how he was like with What a Time to Be Alive, with like his Drake collabs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that the change is bad, but I'm just saying that with this album, it started to, in this album specifically, all the songs sounded the same to me. The Kanye song was the only one that I felt like had a different vibe going with it, but the rest of them just really sounded the same.
So I'll say this. You made a point. I do feel like this album, in terms of style of rap and the vibes that you get from it, is kind of similar to like Dirty Sprite 2. And the thing is, the reason I asked why did you listen to him is because it comes down to, are you listening to Future the same reason that some people listen to, say, who would I say, Kendrick and Cole? You know, Kendrick's album just dropped. I don't listen to Future to get just a whole bunch of bars that just go off the dome, and I'm like, wow. But this album, it hit for me. When it made me feel good. I got lit. That Puffin' on Zooty song is my favorite. Let me ask
you this. So this is the thing with the music industry now. Did you like the song, or did you like the beat? Did the beat capture you enough that you didn't give a shit what he was talking about in that song?
I'm gonna be real with you. The songs I like, I don't even know what the fuck he said.
Exactly. So
it sounds like a lot.
So to go back to your point,
that's what I hear.
So to go back to your point, that no, I wasn't expecting anything lyrical from Future, if that's what you're asking.
Right.
But given the beats, all of the beats sounded the same. So you meaning to tell me that, so going back to the Kanye song. The Kanye song is the only song I only listened to half the album. Don't kill me. Don't shoot the messenger. Whatever. I only listen to half the album. But half of the reason why I stopped listening to the album is that, other than the song that he had with Kanye, all of the beats sounded the same. They were nice, no lie, but every single song felt the same. The vibe felt the same.
So, I'll give you that. When I listened to the album, I think I've only listened to it from like beginning to end once. And I will say this. It was definitely just a kind of lit club style. Right. I'm driving down the street with my niggas. We hyped up for a trip type vibe. That's all it really was. Right. But that's the thing. Me personally, I'm not mad at that, simply because that's kind of what I expect out of Future.
I'm not upset. I'm not upset that the album came out like that. Because like I said, I wasn't expecting anything lyrical from Future. If anything, he gave exactly what everybody expected. Album, when the beats kind of sound the same, you're going to get one or two that's going to be club bangers that people going to use in their Instagram stories, TikToks, Reels, all of that. And then that's going to be it. And he going to come out with the next thing. I wasn't expecting too much from him. I'll say this.
So have you listened to Kendrick's album? Because that dropped like 2 days ago, I think.
have not listened to Kendrick's album yet.
A day ago, 2 days?
I have been hearing a lot of controversy around Kendrick's album.
Really?
I'm hearing half saying that it's good. I'm hearing half saying that it's bad. I've been seeing some controversy about Kodak Black being on the album. There's also been some controversy around a specific song that he has on there where he says the F word, the F slur. I don't want to say it on the podcast. Multiple times.
The slur, not necessarily a cuss word. Yeah,
he says it multiple times. And I've seen people trying to... I haven't listened to the album, so I don't want to give my opinion. My high level opinion is that I don't think he should have said the word. But the argument is that he was trying to tell a story in the song, is what I heard. And as he was telling the story, he was using the slur to tell the story. So you have half the people saying that it was acceptable for him to say it because he was telling the story, and then you have the other half that was like, he could have told the story without saying the slur.
Yeah, at a high level, I have to agree. High level, we already know what words are offensive. We already know how that go. And not to defend rappers, but a lot of rappers do push the envelope on feeling like they can say what they feel like. And I do believe in freedom of speech, but I also believe in freedom of repercussions too. So I guess I got to see, was it tasteful in the way that he used it? Because it's like, if a white guy rapper used the N-word slur, on the surface, I'm gonna be like, why are you using that? But then I will also be like, okay, let me hear the song once. And if it was like a really nice bar, I don't know.
So I guess that's where it's straddling the line. I guess that is where the song is straddling the line. Because in retrospect, you shouldn't say the word. In retrospect.
Right.
But now we're trying to justify it to, let's hear the song. What context did he use it in?
Yeah.
Like, at what point are we justifying somebody using a slur in a song?
Yeah.
Like, and you're not part of the group that slur is being used against. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But
I get that he was trying.
Yeah, it's like
he was trying to tell a story. I'm gonna say this again. I have not heard the song, so I don't know the context. I haven't heard the story. I don't, know how he was saying it, but like, I feel like whatever story he told, I feel like he could have told it without the word. Like,
yeah, it's like it comes down to a conversation that's existed for a while. Because a lot of rappers honestly do push the envelope with the disrespectful stuff they'll say, and usually it does come down to, or if you're part of the group that it offends, you're going to get offended. But anybody who may not have much empathy or sympathy for the groups that's getting offended, where it's like that slur, a racial slur, any type of slur, you know what I'm saying? It usually comes down, are you the one who's the offendee or the offended? And it does come down to, I want to hear the song simply because it's like I haven't listened to the whole Kendrick album, but it's also like, let's see, like, could you really have taken this out? Was you just going for a bar? Could you have told the story by just saying, a different term, a little different terminology? But it's also like, we kind of got to if we're going to hold Kendrick accountable, we do got to hold all rappers accountable.
Exactly.
Because I go back and listen to some songs and I'd be like, this line would not flow. It would not fly by in 2022. I heard a few old Lil Wayne songs, especially. This line would not fly by in 2022. It only flew by in 2008.
And I guess it's just, it goes back to, if you're going, artists have to evolve. I think that if you're going to be in the game this long, you have to evolve with society. It's just like you said, like, there's some songs by Lil Wayne that passed back then, but now with how society is now, if he would have came out that song now, then you'll get the same type of arguments.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's like a reading the room type thing or what. I haven't listened to the album. I'm gonna listen to it. I'm just letting you know what I was seeing online regarding the album. So
yeah, because the only things I've really seen is like the music video where like his face changed into Kanye, Will Smith, and everything else like that. Yeah, I was like, that was creative, but I haven't even watched the whole video. I've literally just seen it on my timeline, folks talking about it, and some song where it was like, "Wait, get up out my way" or "Push him out the way" or something. I just saw it going viral on TikTok because everybody was using it as a sound last night. Okay,
so
I'll check it out. I'll check it out.
We'll have to see what Kung Fu Kenny talking about. Other good news, I'm done from.
Not Kung Fu Kenny.
That's what he called himself. But I am finally done with school for the semester. Yay!
Scholarship, yeah.
So summer.
She was really about to burn the school down. That's what y'all don't know.
It's about to be a hot stud summer. Nah, I wasn't gonna burn the school down. The school just wasn't gonna see me. But it's about to be a hot stud summer. We about to get into this Orlando trip. We're going to DreamCon. For those who listen to the Blerd Mob, watch the Blerd Mob, make sure you catch us at DreamCon. We'll be talking about it a little bit more as we get closer to the date. So make sure you're looking out. We will be looking for you guys.
Take pictures with us. Everything.
Yeah, we're gonna be passing out some merch. So make sure you come get some. I also want to say I am glad to be back in the studio for an original episode. We've been doing a lot of like special segments, like mob reviews. We just started with the Versus Tuesdays actually becoming like a thing other than just like a picture that we post every Tuesday on Instagram. And that's been really fun, but like I really just want to get back to like the basics, like the bread and the butter. The regular episode. So it's good to be back in the studio just in a regular episode, catching up, talking about what we've been listening to, getting back to the topics at hand. I guess like with the segments, we've just been so laser focused on this one thing instead of like how we do on the regular episodes where we span across multiple stuff.
What's actually going on in Blerd culture and what's going on in life.
Right. So let's go ahead and get started. The first topic I want to touch on is this is going to be a little follow-up from the Multiverse of Madness mob review that we did. If you haven't listened to it yet, make sure you check it out. Make sure you've also seen Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness first before listening to the review. But make sure you guys check that out. That's available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. If you want to get a preview, make sure you follow us on Instagram to see a couple snippets from the episode. But we talked about how Phase 4 was, I guess we weren't seeing the end game for Phase 4. To quote a particular thing that I said from the Multiverse of Madness review, it felt like we were being thrown a bunch of puzzle pieces and none of them bitches was going together. And something that I saw on Twitter that I wanted to take up to the mob is that should the MCU have taken a 3 to 5 year break after Avengers Endgame before starting Phase 4? Just because, do we think we may have gotten like a better like collection of movies? Not saying that some of the movies are bad, it's just that I'm not seeing where the pieces are supposed to fit together. So do we think if they would have taken a break, could we have gotten a more correlated set of movies for Marvel?
See, when you asked me that question like off camera, I didn't give an immediate yes, but you saw me go like, yeah. And the reason why, like, obviously, this is solely from the perspective of a movie watcher. Mm-hmm. I've only watched Marvel movies. I've never been much of a comic book nerd. Only been a movie nerd. And the thing is, I feel marveled out. I feel like Marvel isn't as marvelous in terms of how it impacts me mentally. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but let me explain it. After Endgame, everything leading up to Endgame, bang, bang, bang. All fire movies, but I also had fire reactions. I was on the edge of my seat. I'm jumping out. I'm like, this feels so new. What's going to happen next? I see how this person came in on this end credit scene. I see how we see this person in the distance. We got different characters coming in and different other characters main movie lines, main storylines in their movies, and it was all intersecting well together and it was meshing well together and I enjoyed it. But since Endgame, I'm gonna be honest. One, I guess I don't see, like you said, what the Endgame is. I don't see what we're leading into. I don't see what the core is. Like, who's the big bad? What are we looking forward to? How are all these people going to come together? I don't really even see how the movies connect. I.e., Shang-Chi ended with old dude going to be with the lead sorcerer. I can't remember the title that they give Doctor Strange's homeboy. He ended up going with Wong. Why didn't we see? I was expecting us to see him in Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, the Spider-Man movie leading into Multiverse of Madness, and y'all can see us talk about this in the movie reviews. But it didn't really have as much of an impact as the marketing led me to believe. And my whole thing is, I kind of wish they took a break because also when I sat down and watched Multiverse of Madness and the Spider-Man movies, I could tell it's a quality movie. Marvel does great in cinematography. Their stories are always, at least per movie, coherent. Really good directing, really good styles, but I wasn't on the edge of my seat like I was in Phase 3.
Yeah.
I wasn't just, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see what comes next, like I was in Phase 2. I wasn't awe-inspired, like, oh my gosh, who is this? Like I was in Phase 1 when I was introduced to new characters. And I feel like part of that could be we're getting like 3 or 4 Marvel movies a year.
So I wanted to touch
like back to back.
I wanted to touch on that. When you said that you were marveled out, I think part of that comes from the pandemic. And a lot of the schedule, the Phase 4 MCU schedule got pushed back because of the pandemic. Like Black Widow wasn't supposed to drop as late as it did. Shang-Chi wasn't, the Eternals wasn't. Like they had everything lined up. So as far as your opinion about being marveled out, I think the pandemic contributed to that. I think,
no doubt.
I think the other thing that you pointed out is like the characters they've been introducing in the movies, the characters they've been introducing in the Disney Plus shows, and it's like we're getting a lot of introduction, but we're not getting, for me at this moment, we're getting a lot of introduction, but we're not getting a lot of sync up, team ups. Now, they have been talking that the Disney Plus show, Secret Invasion, is some characters are supposed to unite in that movie. Ever since Loki dropped, the big bad has been, for Phase 4, has been rumored to be Kang the Conqueror. And the other rumor coming from Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness is that this is all supposed to be leading to Secret Wars. And Secret Wars is basically this big Marvel multiversal war. Just to give a little description, it sees all of the Marvel multiverse destroyed and rebuilt into one single location called Battle World. And Battle World is a world made up of various pieces from the multiverse under the creation of Doctor Doom. So the mention of Doctor Doom and the fact that we're supposed to be getting a Fantastic Four movie, the introduction of the multiverse through Multiverse of Madness, Loki, WandaVision, and Spider-Man No Way Home, I can see that happening. So if that's the end game, sure. But I guess the movies that we've been getting, the timeline that we're following, I'm not seeing the pieces make Secret Wars. It's like you gave me the puzzle box, and this is the picture that I know the pieces are supposed to make. But I'm looking at the pieces, and I'm like, I don't know how these pieces make this picture. If we want to go back to my puzzle analogy, so my answer is maybe they should have waited. I think it's because Avengers Endgame hit or ended on such a high note. It wrapped up a lot of characters' arcs. It introduced the possibility for other characters to shine. It introduced side characters stepping into new roles, like Falcon becoming Captain America, Wanda fully discovering herself as the Scarlet Witch, Thor joining the Guardians of the Galaxy, Valkyrie now becoming the king of Asgard. So it ended on such a high note that maybe we should have took a break. Maybe we didn't have to hop straight back into it after seeing something so phenomenal as Endgame. Maybe we should have sat down, let Endgame sit, waited a couple years, and now we're about to ramp up Phase 4. Here are the characters that we're about to introduce. Here's the new beginning of Marvel instead of Endgame. We take a year off because it was Endgame, and then it was Spider-Man Far From Home. And then pandemic stuff happened, which is why we didn't get Black Widow in 2019 like we were supposed to. And then we come back a year later. They came back a year later, but I don't know if we would even feel worse about this had Phase 4 started when it actually was supposed to. Because you have a 7-month period between Endgame and Black Widow.
And that's the thing. It's like y'all went to a very, very high place, and now you're trying to bring the audience back down to like medium, sea level. And it's not that they're bad, but give us time to let it sink in. Like, honestly, I think I would have felt worse if these movies did start back 7 months after Endgame. People are still talking about Endgame. Yeah. You can get on YouTube. People still make references to the Thanos. Oh, hit my mic. People still making references to the Thanos. To the Thanos snap. You know what I'm saying? Shut up. People still talk about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a cultural phenomenon in nerd culture. Like, pop culture, nerd culture, it is still very much relevant. And now you want to compete. It's almost as if you're competing against yourself. Yeah. When in real life, in my opinion, if they let it sink in, take a break. Let the audience miss it. Like, let us miss MCU movies. Let us watch everything else. Right. DC dropping the Batman and the Joker and all that. Let us miss you for a while.
I know you haven't watched some of the Disney Plus shows, but I think the Disney Plus shows were like kind of like a breath of fresh air. Like, it was a different type of vibe that with these shows having characters from the MCU, but it wasn't like we're watching a movie. We're watching 4 movies in the span of like 3-4 months. And it was like they were wrapping up arcs. They were introducing characters. And I think that maybe if they had kept with the series route, that we're going to take a break on these high blockbuster movies and just release these series for an amount of time, I maybe could have slid with that. Because like how they did WandaVision with fully evolving Wanda's powers, and Loki, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like those were like stories that were extending off of Endgame. Kind of like what happens to these characters now. And maybe we should have got more series before they just came back with the next big movies. Because now at this point, we're trying
they still would have made their income. It would have been a break.
Right. But at this point, it's what I'm saying is now we're trying to juggle movies and TV series. And we're trying to make sense of the movies from the TV series and the TV series from the movies. And maybe they should have just picked one. If they wanted to release something immediately after Endgame, maybe they should have just chose one avenue. Instead of trying to do movies and TV series at the same time.
I actually think I do agree with that, because I haven't felt as inclined to watch the series. And even more so, like, after watching Multiverse of Madness, I'm like, even though I didn't watch WandaVision, I pretty much understand what's going on just because I watched all the movies, and it is like, dang, do I really got to go back, watch these movies, and watch the storylines? Like, a lot of people, when they, like when you introduce MCU to people who probably ain't watch it, they're like, dang, how many movies do I got to watch to understand what's actually going on? You know what I'm saying? Now, it's not even just how many movies you got to watch. Now you got to watch all these different series, and they are releasing all at once. And the thing is, everybody's battling for our time as consumers. Disney got to compete against Netflix, Hulu, and everybody else. And I feel like if they wanted their fans to really like, you know how they say distance makes love stronger? Yeah. I really feel like, if I know y'all want to make y'all money, y'all don't want to get off the hype train. I know how investors and and shareholders are like, listen, we making money. You see how good Endgame did? We need to keep that going. I feel you. Take a break. Keep the series going. The series are doing well. I feel like I would have been more inclined to watch this series if there was like a 4 to 5 year break. Because I'll be sitting here like, dang, where's MCU been at? Well, Ryan, 3 series then dropped and they going into like the post Endgame stories of what's happened with the characters. I think I would be inclined to watch it then. Since I'm not just the biggest comic book fan. But now it's almost it's a lot. And I feel like I'm being not necessarily forced to watch it, but it's like I feel like they should have took a break. I feel like they should have gave me time to want more Marvel.
I agree.
Versus saying, here's more Marvel, take it because you should want it.
Yeah, I agree. So we talked about Marvel taking a break. I want to switch over to DC. So the CEO of Warner Brothers is calling for a DC overhaul. They want a Kevin Feige-like figure over the DC content. And they want more movies like the Joker. So what does that mean to have more movies like the Joker? So the statement that came out was that the Joker was a shining example of how second-built characters from the DC library can and should be exploited. So basically, it sounds like they want more. It sounded like to me they want more movies than Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. That's what it sounded like to me. And that was something that I've always wanted from the DC universe, especially with the live actions, because the DC universe has so many stories that it can tell. And we've talked about this before with the DCEU being structured to compete with the MCU. And that's how we ended up getting these trash ass movies. But I guess the question that I want to ask is, the hot take for this is it too late for an overhaul of DCEU content? They're talking about an overhaul when we still have to watch Black Adam, Shazam, Aquaman 2, and The Flash is still up in the air due to all the shit that Ezra Miller's been doing in the past couple months. So,
and for clarification, when they say like a Kevin Feige type figure, they mean like someone who can actually plan out what the DCU will be like and have like an organized thought of what each movie should lead into.
Because the other thing that I was reading is that they acknowledge the movies that made them big money. So the Batman, Aquaman, the first Wonder Woman.
Right.
But they were saying that the movies were lacking a coherent creative and brand strategy, which makes sense because how are you creating a whole universe and then on the side you have one-off movies like the Joker and the Batman, and the one-off movies are better than the movies that you're trying to create the initial universe for?
See,
and
when they say an keep going, I'm organized.
My answer is I feel like it's too late. Like, DC, I feel like it's too late. It's because it's already there. I'm not saying that it's like it's never too late to change or it's never too late to start over, but it's just like, how many times are we going to be disappointed? I guess I just need proof that if you guys are going to make an overhaul, I need to see, like, as a fan of DC content and me just being disappointed from the live action content when all of the animated content goes hard, I just need to see what you guys are planning to bring out of a DC overhaul.
And that's the thing. It's like I feel conflicted because, like you said, the one-off movies were good. Mm-hmm. The Joker, and the Batman. Like, you know, I love John Wick. Those are some of my favorite movies in recent history.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if someone said, what are, like, in the past 5 years, I'll even go 10. What are your favorite movies? I'm pretty sure both of those will probably be in, like, my top 10 list. They were very impactful. I like suspense. I even like thrillers. Both of them had me on the edge of my seats, kind of like what I was looking for in the new phase of movies from Marvel. And you know what? I did enjoy Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
I did enjoy the Aquaman movies. Wonder Woman was solid, the first one. And I am not looking forward to more. I'm not looking forward to more Batman spinoffs. I'm definitely not looking more towards more Superman spinoffs. I don't trust them to do another Justice League.
Yeah.
But it's like
That's
too late.
so let's.
I don't think it's too late. It's just y'all really need to prove to me what is y'all thought. Like, I need them to sit down. I need some project managers, program managers. I need the actors in that hole. I need the original writers for the comics in that hole. I need y'all to sit down with your top DC YouTubers off of YouTube streams and subscriptions and see who are the 5 biggest YouTubers for DC content and even have their opinions. And I need y'all to sit down and really think. Because if y'all say y'all want to do another organized universe, I feel like that's too late. Y'all already started. Wait either 5, like we're talking to Marvel, wait 5 more years so we can forget about the old one. Or, if y'all want to make a whole lot of disconnected movies, that's not bad either.
Yeah.
If we have a Martian Manhunter standalone movie and it's good, cool. If we have give me another a Hawk Girl one-off movie and it's actually good, cool. I'm not even mad at that. But if y'all gotta make a decision, because if you do both, we as the fans get confused.
Yeah, I guess
we're going to get confused because it's not a solidified thought.
I want to touch back on what you said. You said that you don't trust them, and I think that's my biggest thing about the overhaul is that I don't trust you guys to do an overhaul and to come back out with good content. I guess I need to just see what does it mean for you guys to be doing an overhaul. Like, are you guys just going to scrap the DCEU, or are you guys just going to make a recovery from what we've seen and actually start using the same content but making some better movies out of it? I almost think that after these next slate of movies come out, that they should do the same thing, that they should take a break and they should sit down and actually think about where they want this to go. Because if they want to do it, because DC has a lot of good stories. They have a lot of big bads that they can make movies to lead up to. Like, the Justice League was eventually supposed to lead to Darkseid, but they did not set that up correctly for it to lead to Darkseid at all. It's so many stories and so many avenues that they could have taken if they just weren't trying to compare themselves to the MCU. And because the movies came out like they did, is that I don't trust you guys. Like, you just have to show me at this point that an overhaul makes sense. Like, I understand that you guys want movies like The Joker and The Batman, but those were one-offs. They don't fit into any universe. I guess, what's the game plan? What is the game plan? Are you guys trying to make a universe, or are you guys just trying to make a whole bunch of solo DC movies?
Right, because you ain't finna connect the Joker with the Batman. There's no way y'all can connect those two.
Right, and
y'all can't.
I'm half of the opinion that maybe they shouldn't have tried to build a universe at all. Maybe they should have just did some standalone movies. Like, I get it. I get the appeal of making a universe and connecting all of these heroes and setting up a big bad, because Marvel has done it so well, or had done it so well up to Phase 4. And I get the appeal of doing the same thing, but DC really shines with their standalone content. Not all of the animated movies don't even connect like that. You may get 2 animated movies.
Facts.
You may get like 2 or 3 animated movies. I know when they did the New 52, that was like several of them that all lived in the same universe. But even outside of the New 52, some of the stories that they were telling animated wise, they didn't live in the same universe. They didn't connect. You didn't need to watch this one before watching this one. And then let's talk about even some of the live action content, like the Batman trilogy. You didn't need to see all of the previous Superman movies before watching that. You didn't need to go see Halle Berry's Catwoman or Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern. You didn't need to watch that.
But don't even mention.
I'm just saying.
Don't mention that.
Some of the live action DC movies ain't great. But what I'm trying to say is that you didn't need to expect the universe to watch the movie. Like, maybe if they just went with, we're gonna give you guys 3 Superman movies, wait a couple years, 3 Batman movies, wait a couple years, 3 Wonder Woman movies, wait a couple years, okay, now we're about to do a Justice League type thing. And with the Justice League being so huge, you could leave out the big 3 if you wanted to.
Facts.
If you wanted to, with the Justice League being so big, you could. I mean, of course, it's not going to sell well if you don't put Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman at the forefront. But even if you wanted to do other teams, Teen Titans, The Outsiders, Doom Patrol, they did make a series out of Doom Patrol, so I'll give them that. They did make a series out of Teen Titans, I'll give them that. I had another one, but
hell, I would like a revamped Green Lantern. To be honest, I would actually give them a chance because of their one-offs to do another Green Lantern. I've had time to forget about it, quote unquote.
I just need to see the plan, or
like
what effort are they going to put into? If they're truly going to do a overhaul, I just need to see what kind of effort they're putting into. And not saying I need to be in the boardroom, but I guess that's just me being spoiled from social media, is that you get updates from everything. I need to see something when I'm scrolling down Twitter that shows me that you guys are serious about this overhaul and y'all just upset that y'all movies are not matching up to Marvel.
And you want to know, that's the funny thing. I see why they try to compete against Marvel. It's obvious. Y'all are the 2 biggest superhero comic book organizations out there. Everybody knows DC and Marvel. But I think what people fail to realize is when it comes to movie franchises, Marvel is the only one. The MCU is the only entity to do what it did so well, so consistently, and execute. They're the only ones. No other organization has made such a long stream of movies that has connected. Yeah. Even if you look at well-known franchises, Harry Potter only had 7 movies in line?
Harry Potter was 8 movies, but the thing is that though Harry Potter was 8 movies, Harry Potter just didn't have as many moving pieces as the MCU, because what the MCU tied together was the Avengers with the Guardians of the Galaxy, with Doctor Strange, and it's like they pulled in so many pieces together to tell this story. Black Panther, where does Wakanda fit in all of this? And I agree with you that I have not seen a franchise take all of so many elements out of the universe and execute it as well as they did.
And that's the thing. I don't feel like moviegoers are expecting another franchise to be as big as Marvel. I'm not the idea came to mind. What if DC does this? But the thing is, the same way I independently enjoy The Joker and independently enjoy the Incredible Hulk we actually like, how I independently enjoy the Batman, I feel like I could still enjoy non-centralized DC movies without them being in the DCEU. Yeah. I feel like I can still very much enjoy that for years to come, especially if you do a good job. Y'all don't have to connect.
I guess my concern with the overhaul is what they're planning to do with the universe, as you just said. And I would hate if they try to reboot everything. I'm so sick and tired of seeing Batman reboots. I'm sick and tired of seeing Superman reboots. And after Wonder Woman 1984, I do not want to see another Wonder Woman reboot. But
facts.
I I don't know.
Give me Teen Titans.
Or something like the only thing that I can hope for is that the movies that are coming out later, I guess they start moving in a direction that makes me think, okay, we're actually going to get some genuine DC content. That's my final standpoint on it, and it's the only thing that I can say. That these movies that are coming out 2022, 2023, I hope they are at a quality where we can start appreciating the DC live action movies. And I hope that they are starting points for whatever overhaul that they're talking about. That we don't have to sit there and watch you guys destroy the DC universe and try to build it up from the ground up. That's why I said it's too late. Now, reboot, yeah, it's too late for y'all to reboot. Y'all just gonna have to do something. You guys are going to have to take that L and start somewhere else. Y'all, that's all I gotta say. So the last thing I want to talk about, and you brought this up a while back when we were talking about the Disney Plus contents with the competitors. The specific competitor you pointed out was Netflix. Netflix is off its wagon, y'all. And we've talked about this before, but some more shit about Netflix has come out, and it just would not be right to not continue this streaming war series. So Netflix has announced a couple things. They're coming out with an ad plan. They're about to go hard with this password sharing fee that's about to go into place. They are losing subscribers, and they are about to start adding games to the service. So there's a lot of things coming, and I am just questioning on whether these changes are going to be good or bad for Netflix. And this is the question that I want for the discussion. Will Netflix remain in the top 5 streaming service? Or is this the point in time where Netflix is going to lose its crown?
The answer to your first question, will they remain in the top 5? No. Will they lose their crown? Yeah. Here's the thing. All businesses got to do whatever they can to not go bankrupt and survive. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I completely get it. But competition has gotten intense. We loved Netflix because everybody had their auntie, their grandmas, their mamas, their daddy's Netflix password from many, many years back. We love Netflix because once you bought it, you didn't have to deal with ads. We were okay with Hulu's ads because it gave us Spotify too. Yeah. Everybody else, that's how they started. That's why we were okay with it. But when y'all start going backwards and not progressing forward, you're going to lose subscriptions. How many subscribers have they lost?
The first quarter, they lost 200,000 subscribers. They're expecting to lose 2 million more subscribers by the end of their second quarter.
That's what I'm saying. And I get it. Out of those 2 million subscribers, you're probably going to lose. There's probably 2 million people with their passwords. Yeah. I get it. But now you're finna lose all your money because you're moving backwards as a platform. And second, why are y'all introducing gaming? Like, here's the thing.
Okay, so out of all the streaming services that we've been talking, the only thing that I can compare it to of why they're introducing gaming is that if you've ever gotten one of the little Apple TV boxes, you can play games on that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just something they're trying to do to boost the service. That maybe that they thought that this is something extra that you just don't have to come to Netflix to watch TV, that we have some other forms of entertainment as well. I guess my only question with gaming is what kind of games are y'all going to put on Netflix? Like, where are y'all getting these games from? Like, I don't want to pull up on Netflix and y'all talking about y'all got games and the first thing I see is Candy Crush. Because I'm going to exit out the app.
And here's the thing, even if they try to go into bigger games, say if they want to be like Google Stadia, you remember that when it was hot for like a month, when they tried introducing gaming streaming, that died. Like, just being honest, not everybody got the best internet. Ain't nobody trying to stream no first party, no single player story game and deal with lagging.
Well, let me ask you this: do you think that that Netflix might become another platform for indie developers to shine? Do you think they might just get a bunch of indie games on there?
I doubt it.
Because I don't know what kind of games they're gonna
simply
get.
Because Sony and
I have no idea.
I highly doubt it simply because Sony and Microsoft already got platforms for that.
Yeah.
Like, Sony and Microsoft already have a lot of initiatives, especially Microsoft, I'm most familiar with theirs, to get indie developers.
Nintendo too.
Even Microsoft with their Game Pass, exactly. Even Microsoft with their Game Pass said they wanted to become the gaming of Netflix. Now Netflix wants to become the Netflix of Xbox and Sony. It's too late.
I don't know.
Y'all are already in debt. I doubt they finna invest millions of dollars into gaming at this point too.
I guess they're just trying to do like the reverse, because let's think about it. Like, so PlayStation, most of the PlayStation Store is used to buy games, but you can also buy movies on the PlayStation Store as well. You can do the same thing on Xbox as well. So I don't know if they're just trying to be the reverse, that you guys, in paying for this service, you get movies and games. And they feel like that maybe they may draw in some people. But the reason you guys are losing subscribers, and my cousin went on like a 15-minute rant, is that you guys don't put out consistent content. That and
our business manager, that cousin.
Yes. So and we've said this before, is that people flock to Netflix when something gets trending. Squid Games. Everybody went to Netflix to watch Squid Games. I'm trying to think of some others. Arcane. That trending. And
Ultimatum is kind of trending now.
That was the one I was looking for. That when something gets trending on social media, that's when people flock to Netflix, and then they watch it, and then people disappear. And then, yes, it takes a while to make new shows, but I think they should have a better setup of how they release these shows. Like, she was saying that Netflix should have it set up where it's like banger after banger after banger after banger after banger.
Facts.
That's how you keep your audience. Like, everybody went to go watch Squid Games on Netflix, watched the whole season, left Netflix, and now they're not going to return until Squid Game season 2 comes out. So now you're missing a whole audience until that banger comes back.
And you want to know the funny thing? Some people may hear this and be like, "Are y'all just being hard on Netflix?" But I'm gonna do something from a certain perspective. Mm-hmm. Disney did this. Disney did everything you just said. Disney said, before we make our streaming service, we're finna buy Fox and all relating properties so we can own Hulu. Mm-hmm. We're gonna buy Marvel, and we're gonna buy Lucasfilms. We already got the old stuff that's gonna make people want to come back. Mm-hmm. We getting all the new stuff with the Fox products, and we getting all the new stuff with the Marvel products. Netflix at this point is basically like a low-end production company. And honestly, that's what I feel like they should do. Because it seems like it's difficult for them to have back-to-back heat, or they would either have to acquire a lot of stuff because they already lost so much due to different other acquisitions. Yeah. I feel like they'll be better off saying, not going bankrupt, lose your streaming service, don't pay for servers and all that, become a production company and either get bought out by either Disney or HBO Max or somebody, because y'all got some fire series. Yeah. Y'all got series like Sex Education, Big Mouth, Arcane, Squid Games, and stuff that people, even some anime with Seven Deadly Sins. Y'all got stuff that people like. But if y'all can't meet the demand, slow it down and get into a place where you can slow down and be efficient.
I agree. I think they've been relying on their big hitters to keep them alive, and they just put some bullshit in the middle until their big hitters come back, because the next highly anticipated series that I am waiting to drop on Netflix that I think may bring in way subscribers is this Avatar series. We've already been watching Umbrella Academy. We've already been watching The Witcher. We've seen Arcane. We're just waiting for season 2. You know, we've watched 7 Deadly Sins, but I think what was really gonna be like, yo, let me make sure I got a Netflix subscription, is gonna be that Avatar series. And I just feel like while we're anticipating the Avatar series to come out, that you guys just need to have something in the middle to keep people's attention, because with your Disney example, they come out with a Marvel TV series. The Marvel TV series ends. It's not like they don't have anything to watch. They release other content alongside of it, new movies, new TV series. They may not be Marvel related.
Family Guy's still going.
Oh, I forgot about this. So Stranger Things season 4 part 1 drops at the end of this month. So Netflix is probably going to start trending based on how well Stranger Things goes too. But do you know how long we had to wait to get Stranger Things season 4? And that just goes back to my point that you can't just live off the threads of the bangers if you're going to take so long to bring the bangers back.
And that's the thing, like, give yourselves room. Because here's the thing, nobody hates Netflix. Nobody hates Netflix products, like their self-produced shows and movies. It's just that we got to pay for a lot. Like, the consumer streaming services used to be consumer friendly. We cut cable because now we can watch TV when we want. They're all on like individual, like 2 platforms at the time when we first started cable cutting. But now streaming is no longer consumer friendly. Yeah. And the thing is, we're going to pay for what we want to pay for. And a lot of people do like Netflix, but there's other stuff that's worth paying for even more.
Yeah.
It's other stuff worth paying for. So at the end of the day, I do feel like they should put themselves in a situation where they can still make good money, still produce their content that people love. And the best way I can see that is becoming a producer, just a simple production company. You don't gotta maintain or even try to fight to maintain a crown in streaming. And if anything, that's consumer friendly, because if you were to tell me Amazon Prime Video or Disney, ESPN, Hulu, that organization, or HBO Max bought the rights to all Netflix production companies and Netflix just became like a company under them, that would make that company more valuable. And Netflix still gets their royalties. They still get their money. They still can produce, still give opportunities to actors and actresses. That's probably the most consumer friendly thing they could do. Is it shareholder friendly? Yeah, probably not. And I know that, and I think that's the real biggest issue. Who you trying to impress, your consumers or your shareholders?
Well, they're not impressing their shareholders because they getting sued by
shareholders.
They getting sued by their shareholders. Like, they weren't telling them the truth about like why they were losing subscribers and stuff like that. I will say this, because Netflix has been around so long. I guess I hope that whatever plans they have into place gives them some type of benefit. I hope that they are just not beating a dead horse because they're trying to compete with Disney Plus, Hulu, Amazon Prime, and the other streaming service. I hope it's not that we know that this is a dying service, but let's just keep beating the horse, stuffing the bird, because we want to at least keep it in the conversation. Like,
facts.
If your company, let it die. I think the funniest thing I've seen with like all of this Netflix decline and all of the news coming out is that this is their karma from shutting down Blockbuster. The ghost,
they say you will see
the
it
ghost
soon.
of Blockbuster is back to shut down Netflix, and it is coming in the worst way possible.
And that's why I feel like they should make a decision. Like, Blockbuster died and completely died. Blockbuster didn't even have the route of saying we got our own self-produced content. They were the middleman for everybody else's content. Netflix has one advantage, and it is that they produce their own products. Your products don't have to die, just your framework.
Yeah.
Just kill off the streaming, kill that off, be your production. We love y'all for what y'all produce. I know a few people who are like into acting and actresses, and they feel like Netflix is probably the prime place to go if you want to get your acting career started. It's one of the best places to go because they're going to have a lot of indie films and TV series.
Yeah.
We love y'all for that. But if y'all keep investing money and running away y'all subscribers, y'all are going to go bankrupt and fail.
Yeah. I agree. I don't know. We'll see Netflix. I'm going to give y'all 2 to 3 years to make something shake. We're going to see if they going to be in the top 5. I'm with you. I don't think so. I think this is the death of Netflix if they don't make something shake soon. Because I haven't touched a Netflix in a couple months, to be honest with you. But that's all the time we have for today. We're going to leave that Netflix conversation open-ended. But that is all the time that we have for today. So I want to thank you, Ryan, for joining me today on the podcast. I want to thank everybody who's been listening to us since the beginning, since we came back in 2022. Shout out to everybody who's been interacting with us on the Versus Tuesdays, who's been watching and listening, supporting as we go through this new segment. And everybody who's just been listening to the mob reviews. You know what I'm saying? We are some movie geeks and whatever. So, with that being said, make sure you guys follow us on Instagram at the Blerd Mob Pod. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at the Blerd Mob. And if you're a Facebooker, make sure you like our Facebook page at the Blerd Mob Podcast. And with that being said, this is the mob checking out. Peace.
Hands up if you love him where you at, stand 10 toes down, shawty ain't no looking mad. You can let them haters hate when they answer where I'm smiling.